6 months ago, my wife and I made a pretty big announcement to our friends and family.
It's a goal!
4 days later, I shipped overseas for a 9-month deployment. Fast forward to October 3rd, my wife gives birth to the most perfect, wild-haired girl I've ever seen, and I'm on my way back home for a 2-week parental leave. Because my wife is such a good sport, I was able to take a couple breaks from my new responsibilities of being a father.
We're sad right now.
To go chase deer with my stick and string. Even though we only had our cameras out for a couple weeks before I got back, we were able to get pictures of a few different bucks. Out of the bucks that we had pictures of, this one stood out to me the most. He was framed out wide, he looked mature, and he was definitely the one I was going after. Only one problem. My bow wasn't even set up yet. After my bow was dialed in, and I built up my confidence, and I made a bottle for the baby, my wife gave me the green light to go for a morning hunt. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Got a slight north wind, cold front came in. I have no idea what's in here. We're just gonna go hunt it and see what happens, so wish us luck. Even though we had run trail cameras, we hadn't ran them long enough to have a good idea of what was in the area. And despite having a target buck picked out, any mature buck was on the hit list. I could tell immediately that this buck was immature. And even though I had a limited amount of time to hunt, I wasn't about to put my management practices on hold just to fill my tag. It doesn't matter if he's a shooter buck or not. Any buck within bow range is still enough to get my heart pumping. Don't blow at me. It's the wind. She's not even good, so she's just blowing. I don't think she has much experience. She's still blowing. I'll probably just climb down. Call it a day. Since the wind's obviously shifted. The weather's just not cooperating with us. It's 83 degrees, the wind isn't right, but you're not gonna kill a big buck on the couch, so we're gonna go out here and try to make something happen. I got my launch here. I'm gonna go set up in the trees, back a little bit. See if I can find a spot where I have the right wind, because my tree stand is not going to do it today. We'll see if we can slip down in these trees on this bottom and find a spot to set up with the wind in our face. I'm just going to settle in. It wasn't long before a doe and a fawn came in. and it also wasn't long before they had me pinned down. Sitting in a lawn chair less than 15 yards away, all I could do is hold still and be quiet. After about a 20-minute stare down, she deemed the area safe and decided to bed down, all within about 20 yards away. Eventually, these two were on their way, and I stayed in hopes of seeing my target buck. A short time later, more deer started to work into my area. Some of the deer stayed in the trees, with only these two working their way out into the meadow. I wasn't necessarily hunting a doe, but when they start blowing like this one did, the odds of the buck that I'm after coming in dwindle down to nothing. Alright, so I'm over here. I found a little blood right here, so. We found the arrow. It's right over there. Looks like we got a lot of good blood on the arrow, so she shouldn't have went too far. Alright, so update. We found her. Didn't make it easy on us in this thick woods we're in, but we found her. So start dragging before it gets too dark. Recovered this doe. It's one more deer than I thought I was going to end up getting this year, but still got a few more days. I can maybe find a buck, but if not, it's all good. Just glad I got to come out, you know. Well, Oklahoma still hasn't let up on this heat. It's 89 degrees and we still have a south wind, but it's kind of kicking out of the southwest, so I'm gonna go try a new spot, and any mature buck I see is getting in, so hopefully we see something, but I don't know. When the wind's not cooperating, it's always important that you have your good luck spray. All right, this stuff works magic on them big bucks. Well, we're all settled in. My only regret is that I didn't wear shorts. Is that acceptable? Can you wear shorts bow hunting? That might just be an Oklahoma or Texas kind of thing. Y'all have to let me know if y'all have ever worn shorts during deer season. definitely gets hot enough here for that. During this stand, all I managed to see was turkeys and another doe and fawn pair. It's worth noting that in the early season, if you observe that all does have fawns, this can be a sign that you have a healthy buck-to-doe ratio. So we got a cold front. The wind switched to the north, but it's 31 miles per hour. So, I don't know. We're gonna hunt it. With wind speeds this high, it was hard to avoid swirling winds, so I decided to back out and come back later. Well, we still got our north wind. Every bit of it. I'm not sure what the wind speed is, but it's crazy. But doesn't matter. The hunt goes on. At this point, I found myself frustrated, not only by the wind and the temperature, but by the fact that the only movement I've seen was cows. About an hour after the cows had made their way through, the wind died down drastically, and I could hear leaves crunching off to my left. When I looked that way, all I could see was my target buck, and he was headed my way. What just happened? That's the deer that I was after. I hit him a little far back. Oh my god. I hit him a little far back. My nerves were like crazy. It was like a 14-yard shot. I think we're gonna give him some time because I definitely did make a perfect shot on him. So I'm gonna go grab the arrow and back out. The arrow had a lot of blood on it, but to me it looked darker, like it was a liver hit. I decided to back out and get a second opinion. So after looking at the footage, it looked like I might have got some lungs, so we're out here. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're gonna see if we can find that buck. So let's see. So he was standing right here. I shot him. I'm not seeing any blood here. I don't know if he went down this, but if he did, he was not meaning to. I don't want to go down this. And I'm taking my time. Okay. So there's blood up here. So he probably did come down that. Can you see this? A little bit of blood here. Some kind of drying on that dirt, but blood. Some leaves are just red too, so that doesn't help. Oh yeah, look. Nope, never mind. Red leaf. More blood right here. Kind of drying because it's been a little while. Gave the deer about 6 hours. Okay. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I've been hunting this buck all week, off and on, just whenever I can. I didn't even think I was going to get to hunt this year. I've been overseas and I was allotted for 2 weeks, so I got to come out here and hunt. That's awesome. I did not think that this hunt was going to happen in the first place, and for it to have been successful, I feel that the stars truly had to align. So many things had to come together. My unit had to accept my leave, I had to make it all the way back home, my wife had to give me the green light to go hunting in the first place, and then whenever I actually went hunting, I had to fight 90-degree weather and 30-mile-an-hour winds. I think that this hunt just proves that as long as the guy stays persistent, he can definitely bag an early season, mature buck despite the hot weather and the wind.